Why? Why do you keep setting the same goals every single year? Listen, don't set goals for 2017. Please stop doing that. Instead, do this. Here's the thing. I've been coaching people now, since 1993. We're talking about 23 plus years now of coaching people. And I can tell you, right in the beginning, here's what was happening with my clients on a regular basis. They were setting the same goals over and over and over and over and over every single year. On top of that, they can't see how it's going to happen. So they're constantly in the state of, I write the goals down, Matthew, because that's what everyone says I should. And so I write them down, but then I feel bad, I feel frustrated, I get nervous, it feels inauthentic. Doesn't goal setting, I mean, if you're being totally honest with yourself, for the most part, doesn't goal setting feel inauthentic? That's because it is, okay? Because it is. Because it's based on something that is actually inaccurate. Goal setting is based on something that is not true. So what happens is you get discouraged and you get bummed out. And you wonder, will I ever get this? You go into these fearful states and you wish, man, I wish that this thing would be easier. So here's what I want to do. I want to help you set goals this year in a totally different way. Couple of ideas. Now, here's what you need to know. It took me from about 1993 till about 2003, so about that 10-year period of working with people on setting goals. I finally figured out what the problem was and why me and them weren't achieving at the levels that we wanted. And when we did achieve, we didn't feel satisfied with it, or we didn't acknowledge it, or all these kinds of things happen, okay? So I'm not saying that goals don't work. You need to understand that. I'm saying that unless you solve this other thing, unless you solve this other thing that I'm going to tell you about, it's just going to be the same old thing for you again this next year. You don't want that, do you? No. Okay, so check it out. You don't actually want the goal. That's the thing you have to start by understanding. You don't want the goal. You want what you think the goal will get you. You want what you believe the goal will provide. It's an experience. So, for example, let's say you set a goal this year, I'd like to make, X amount of dollars. Unfortunately, X amount of dollars, not inspiring, not going to get you pumped up. It's not going to create any energy for you, because what's happening is there's actually something underneath that you want. So what I want you to consider is this. I want you to consider that there's an experience. I want you to ask yourself these questions, okay? What's important to me about achieving this goal? So let's say it's more money, right? You might say, well, what's important to me about achieving this goal? Well, I'd like to, I'm just going to dive into my own life, okay? So what's important to me about achieving my money goal this year? I'm just going to use money as an example. What I'd like to do is, I'm now past my divorce financial settlement, and it was a long period of time, and it was very financially destructive. I'm just talking about for me, okay? I'm answering the question. And what I would like to do is, I'd like to stabilize the finances and take care of some of the past debt to the lawyers and blah, 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 and stuff that I took on. And I'd like to start getting into a state where I'm much more ahead of the hole that got dug over those 3.5 years of trying to get divorced, okay? So that's the first answer. Then the second question that you need to ask yourself is this. How is that answer important to you? I mean, what will it do? And so then I think to myself, what will it do? Well, it's going to probably make me feel like I have more freedom to express myself or do more of the things that I want to do. There's a whole bunch of investing ideas that I want to put into place. There's some lifestyle things that I'd like to do. I'd love to take the kids this next summer and go on like a 1-month-long RV trip all over to the various parks here on the west coast of California. These are just my things, okay? These are things that I'm thinking about. So what's important about the goal? How will the answer that you just gave, how is that important to you? What will it do? Then the third question you need to ask yourself is you need to take everything that you said, and you might want to write it all down, and then you say, ultimately, what will all of this do for you? And for me, ultimately, what will all of it do for me? It's going to give me time freedom, it's going to give me money freedom, and it's going to give me creative freedom. So that's me answering the questions. And then I go, now here's the thing. I don't actually want the money goal. What I want is the time freedom, creative freedom, and the money freedom. That's what I actually want. I don't know what you want. You might want peace of mind. You might want more joy. You might want more fun in your life. You might want to have exciting adventures. You might, all of these things. There's all of this stuff that the goal means. The goal actually means something to you. There's an experience that you're trying to have. So you don't want the goal. You want the experience. Now here's the next step. You actually need to acknowledge the presence of that experience in your life now. If you would acknowledge the presence of that experience in your life now, you are going to be blown away. Remember, don't set goals for 2017. Do this instead. What are you going to do? You're going to recognize, I don't want the goal, I want the experience. Then you're going to go, well, wait a second. Where do I already have that experience? Because what happens is we keep setting the same goals over and over and over. We can't see how they're going to happen. We get discouraged and bummed out. We wonder, will I ever get it? We wish, was it ever easier? Here's the problem. You already have the essence of the goal that you want in your life right now. This is a revelation. You're already experiencing these things. Even if it's in the smallest, little, tiniest amount, you're already experiencing it. This video that I'm shooting with you right now, creative freedom. The time that I have, today it's Thursday, and I have this big swath of time, I have time freedom. The money freedom that I could, there's really nothing, if I just get totally honest with myself, if I want to do something, I will figure out how to do it. And I will figure out how to have that experience. For example, if I want to travel more, one of the things that I have done, because that's been one of my things in the past, like, you know, when I have millions of dollars and all of this stuff, what I'm going to do is I'm going to travel and I'm going to experience the earth. And then I'm like, wait a second. Do I need millions of dollars and all that to travel and experience the earth? No. You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to get in my car and I'm going to drive to really cool places and I'm going to have that experience of, wow, look at me experiencing the earth and traveling around, day tripping, just going out just a little bit. And you know what I'm doing is I'm acknowledging the presence in my life. Now, here's the next thing. I said, don't set goals for 2017, do this instead. Here's the deal. Fine, have the goal. But acknowledge that really what you want is the experience. Then start to acknowledge the presence of that goal in your life. And then what I want you to do is, I want you to expand on it. I want you to say, okay, my goal is to have more money so I can have more time freedom, more financial freedom, and more creative freedom. All right, cool. So how do I express more time freedom? What can I do to start having more time freedom now? What can I do to start having more creative freedom now? What can I do to have more monetary freedom now, right? So here's the thing that you need to know. Use your creativity and your ingenuity. You don't really need that goal to accomplish the things you want. You want more peace of mind? It ain't going to come from money. By the way, it's going to come from practicing the things that I teach you in Transforming Fear into Action and Ridiculous Bliss. That's where that comes from, but that's a different story. Listen, you want more adventure? You can have adventure right now. Go right out that door. Go right out that door and you can start creating adventures. You want to have more connective time? That ain't got nothing to do with anything other than your own inner workings. You got everything you need right now. You're living the life that you want right now, and why you feel frustrated is that you are not clear about what you really want, what you're actually after, and then you are being blinded to the fact that you already have it. Don't set goals in 2017. Do this instead. Do I want you to not write down, here's how much money I want to make, here's how much weight I want to lose, here's the new things that I want to accomplish? No, write all that stuff down. But then do this. And focus on expanding the things that are already happening in your life. Because every one of those goals that you want is really just a thing that's already happening, you like it, you prefer it, it's an experience that you want to have here, and then expand on those experiences. And here's the kicker. You do that, and what you want, the actual goal itself, it'll come flying into your life. It's going to blow your mind. I hope this helped. Leave me a comment. Let's get in a conversation. I want to talk to you about this. Let me clarify anything that I said that is like, what? What does that mean? Let me help you, and I can't wait to see what happens for you this next year. Thanks for tuning in.